Hallo meine Lieben und herzlich willkommen. Ich begrüße euch. Heute habe ich zwei ganz besondere Menschen hier bei mir, die liebe Julie und der Michael. Sie sind spirituelle Heiler und heute werde ich ein Gespräch mit ihnen führen. Sie werden über Irland, über das Land der Liebe sprechen. Doch dieses Gespräch wird in Englisch stattfinden. Und ich hoffe, ihr könnt uns folgen, beziehungsweise die Essenz, die Energie, die Frequenz auch von diesem Video aufnehmen. Abschließend werde ich dann auch noch ein Channeling dazu machen. Ich werde nämlich die Seele dieser Insel channeln. Viel Freude, fühlt die neue Herz und fühlt das Wissen, die Weisheit von Irland. Hello, Julie and Michael. Can you please tell me a bit about yourself and what you're doing? And afterwards, I would love to speak more about this island, the island of love, like you said it.
Yes, thank you, Nicoleén. Guten Tag. It's lovely to be talking to you, Nicoleén. Our German isn't so good, so we'll speak in English. We won't use too much Irish because we know you have a wonderful German audience. We've had the pleasure of meeting you and working with you before, but this is our first video with you where we can talk about Éire. We call Ireland Éire because that's the original name. Ireland, which means Angerland, was given to us by the English 800 years ago. So we like to go back to the history of our beautiful island, which is Éiru, the goddess Éiru, who is the goddess of love, the goddess of sovereignty. And Michael and I moved down to Arklow 5 years ago, and we built a healing cabin 2 years ago, and we called it Solas, which means light. And we have wonderful people, including yourself, who come and attend events, and we're really looking forward to your seminar here on Saturday. Michael and I are Reiki masters. So we do double Master Reiki, and we also include initiations from the Ascends. We have an earth tide machine to detox people from any impurities they have in their system. And we've brought in a quantum healing machine, a primer cube. We think it's the first one in the country, and that creates a toroidal energy field with our healing. So we're delighted when clients come, but we always get excited when wonderful speakers like yourself come, because then there's a fantastic gathering of light workers in Wicklow. So we're really looking forward to Saturday.
Yes, and we try and run one event a month. We decided when we built the cabin that would be opened up to everybody. So some local healers are also using it to do their own workshops, separate from us. And the way we work is we believe it's on a 5D level. We look for a gratitude donation. So there are no set fees. So nobody's excluded because they don't have the financial wherewithal for healings or whatever. And, you know, people are more than generous most of the time. So it's absolutely wonderful. And we feel that this is the way forward. It's to bring healing into the community. Yes, some of the people around here are not quite sure how to deal with this, but it's really good because we bring lots of people. People come from all over Éire. We've had people come from abroad as well for healings and for our events. So yeah, and like Julie says, we're looking forward to your event on Saturday, and all the people who will be here as well. It's special to us, and this is the idea behind it, is that we can offer. We believe at this stage in our lives as light workers, we're here to be of service, and this is one way of being of service.
Yes. You are like a lighthouse here, a center of light, yeah, and you connect with all the light workers around this beautiful island and share it, and also expand the consciousness and the energy, the beautiful healing, what you're giving. And especially with your new tool, like you said, the quantum, and what you're working with, the quantum energy. So it's a new way of frequency healing, which would be the new medicine for the new time, huh?
Yes, absolutely. And even, you know, you were with us in Tara for the summer solstice, and you saw there was a core group of us, but you saw how many people actually were drawn to join us. I think with 72 people in the circle when you were doing your singing bowls and your channeling as well. Yes. It was amazing.
And the energy was so powerful, Nicoleén, and that's what we love. And you would know that because I know you've come to some of our events here. When the people gather, the energy is just incredible. And we're very grateful for that. And we loved having you in Tara. I loved your dress. It was absolutely gorgeous. I will be checking what dress you're wearing on Saturday.
Yeah, Twins.
For your audience, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicoleén showed up with this beautiful dress, and I was wearing the exact same one. And Dad was just smirking when he saw
It's
me.
just the energy what we felt. It's just the pure love energy that was there on that day, and how we expanded all together in the group. Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was. So we're really looking forward to Saturday. And also we're intrigued with your light language, because it was a wonderful way for us to close the ceremony for the solstice in Tara when you spoke. And people were just amazed and blown away. So we were very grateful. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I also would like that you have a deep connection to the goddess Brigid. Would you like to say something about Brigid?
Sure, yes. Well, I'm also trained as a Celtic priestess, so Michael and I would have a deep love, a deep grow for this island and its heritage. And one of our local healers gave us a healing blanket, a Brigid healing blanket, a few years ago when my own brother was very unwell, and he made a complete recovery. So we decided to invest in a Brigid blanket for the community, and we share it around the country too, and it has tremendous healing powers. We know the creator of it, Marguerite, she's over in the west of Ireland, and she would channel Brigid. So there's a beautiful, beautiful healing. And then also...
Actually get shivers here now.
Well, we can have it on Saturday. So you can wear it. But we also were in Solas Healing, which is up in Kildare, and this is a convent dedicated to Brigid, and there is an eternal flame there, which apparently Brigid lit. So we then lit a candle from this perpetual flame. So there's a tremendous energy. Well, you could say it's the divine feminine here in Éire. There's a beautiful energy. So they say Brigid came down from the Goddess Éiru. It's the female lineage of energy and power. So we do find it very powerful. We love using it. We incorporate it in our gatherings and in our ceremonies.
Yes. It's beautiful. And would you like to speak now about more about Éiru, about like you said, the feminine energy is coming back up. It's a change, a collective change here on this earth, and especially also a change on that island. So would you like to speak more about that?
Yes, well, we believe that Éire, as Julie said, it's the original name for our island. And it is, we were told it was shrouded in 16 layers of black magic.
Okay.
Up to recently. But there's been a lot of work, a lot of light workers from around the world have come here and have done ceremonies, the likes of Huna Flash and Felix Hyde and different people. And the layers are being gradually lifted. And when we were in Tara that day, we felt another layer was lifted, and to let the light shine right through to our island, and also for the light of our island to shine back out again. And, you know, we were told that the two races that were most subjugated or were most put under a spell were the Irish, or the people of Éiru, and the Native American Indians. And that's why both groups were subjected to so much hardship and so much control by the dark forces, for want of a better word. The other interesting thing is, if you look at all the American presidents, they've all claimed to be of Irish heritage, because they know that this is a very powerful land, this is a very spiritual land, and it is the heart of Gaia. You know, there are different lands around the world that have different claims, but Éire is the heart of Gaia. And even if you look at the island on the globe or on a map, it's shaped like a fetus, which is quite interesting. And where we were in Tara is where the heart of the fetus is also. You know, so there's a lot of interest, both from light workers from around the world. People come here who from everywhere. Like we've had I was talking with Native American Indians about 20 years ago about the work that they were doing here, because they felt the connection between us and them was very, very powerful and very strong. And more people are coming here for the simple reason they know that there is an energy of love, an energy of unity, and an energy of sovereignty here, which is what Éiru stands for.
And that's also my experience. I see by some fairy rings, or by the oak tree, the old oak tree. It's 800 years old, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And you feel the energy, and I was there and with my crystal balls and singing in light language, and I felt the energy like out of time. It was like this deep connection, this magic. I felt like Avalon. I felt this really deep roots down. And if it's not being touched by any other energy, so you feel the portals here, which contains the energy of the divine, yeah, the source itself. And it's really untouched. And that's something really special that I only experienced here in Ireland, I have to say. Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
so far.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. No, I think we're a little bit biased, and obviously you are too, because you met a lovely Irishman. But there is a beautiful energy here, and even the green, the color green, which is associated with Éire, is the heart chakra, and it's the color of love. It's the color of healing. And on our website, Solas Ceremonies, which we would be grateful if you put in the chat, we have a book called Ireland, Land of the Pharaohs, which is free to download on our site. We came across it, and it's so powerful. And the authors, who are two Irishmen, they say that the Irish went to Egypt and built the pyramids millennia ago. So there's this fascinating history of Éire, which unfortunately then was eradicated because the powers that be don't want us to be aware of it. So we do think there's links to Atlantis. There's so many links that go back in time to this tremendous energy. And I suppose then when you have the goddess Brigid, who then the Catholic Church translated into the Saint Brigid, there is this very powerful divine feminine energy here too. And I think in this era, for all of us, we can see the rise of the female and the male, because the two together, that completes the circle. And I think that's why we're here. We're here to complete the balance, because unfortunately, the balance of power has been out of kilter, and there's been so many wars and poverty and injustices. So we feel now change, positive change is coming, starting on our island.
Yes, absolutely. Michael, would you like to say something about Newgrange? You had some interesting thoughts.
Yeah, Newgrange, it's an interesting site. Unfortunately, at this stage, it's one of these sites where the government control it. They tell us that it is a burial chamber, that they found all sorts of bones and charred bones and everything inside it. But we believe, and we're not the only people who believe this, that it was an initiation chamber for druids. Originally, we believe that it was a pyramid, because the Atlanteans came here. And if you look at the story of the Bible, and you look at other ancient stories, they spoke about the 12 tribes that left Israel, or 12 tribes that left Atlantis, and went to 12 different points around the world, and they built pyramids. And we had a pyramid at Newgrange now endowed. But with the Ice Age, it was flattened by the glaciers as they moved. So what happened was then, in later years, it was reopened, for want of a better word, and a druid or a potential druid would go in and spend 40 days and 40 nights in the chamber. Now, on the 21st of December, there is a light that comes from the sun once the sun is shining, there's no cloud, that comes right up the chamber and lights up the back of the chamber. Now, originally, there was a granite bowl there that they would fill water, and the light would refract off the water, and the whole chamber would turn gold.
Wow.
And we have a couple of places around Éire. There's one up in Tala Hill, where there's a golden pond, and I've been there and I've seen the water refracted and a band of gold across the top of which is, I'm getting goosebumps now talking. But it was the same in Newgrange. And if it turned gold, the person then was accepted as a druid, and then went and picked an oak that was their oak tree, because the oak is the tree of the druids. And then if the chamber didn't turn gold or didn't light up, they weren't accepted as a druid, and it was somebody else's turn the following year. So it's a fascinating spot. And the other thing is, in that book that Julie spoke about, Éire, Land of the Pharaohs, they said that when the Great Flood came, the people went into Newgrange. And Newgrange is all cobblestones. It's all stones on top of stones, and no moisture or water gets through. And beneath it, which is unknown by a lot of people, and we're not, the government don't admit it, there is a chamber that would hold up to 2,000 people. And the idea is that if people were told about that the interest would transfer to the chamber, not to Newgrange itself. So they want to keep the tourists coming and the money coming in for that sort of thing. And when I used to go to Newgrange years ago, it wasn't as strict, and I would take a group and we would be allowed, after the official tour, we'd spend 20 minutes in the chamber.
Wow.
And the number of people who would come and would feel the energies, and there's a portal in the center. And if you, what we call dance the portal, if you spin around on the portal, your feet would actually leave the ground. And despite the fact you were spinning around, you would never get dizzy, which is an amazing thing. We basically brought lots of people through there just to feel what the initiation would be like in Newgrange.
Yeah.
As I said, unfortunately, things have changed slightly now, because they were at one stage like the pyramids. There's only certain pyramids you can go into. They now have, I suppose, centers to show what the pyramids were like, and, you know, reconstructions. They were going to do that with Newgrange, but there was a lot of people objected to it because they want to be able to go inside it. Now, the only thing that we were there a few months ago with Felix Hyde, and I was very disappointed because at the back of the chamber, there was originally the original 7 planets of the solar system. And there was a hand with 4 fingers on it, 3 fingers on the thumb, was engraved into the stone or emblazoned in the stone. And they've actually covered that over now, which is an interesting aspect. And that's only in the last 15 years. They don't want people to know what it's about, you know.
And now we are going in the direction of other star beings, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, absolutely. And disclosure and the truth coming out, the truth about everything. Yes.
Yes. Like when I was there, I felt the presence of the Lyra energy. Star beings of Lyra. And when I go down to the south in Cork, the Drumback Stone Circle, I feel really much the Sirius energy as well. And this stone circle was, I had a vision there, how back in time the star beings was there and did rituals there on that place. So I think maybe it's that what still tried to be covered.
Yes, exactly. And the interesting thing is that stone circle, Drumback Stone Circle, is not signposted.
No.
If you don't know where it is, you can't find it.
It's
very hard to find.
Yes.
And in fact, we were there with some local people there 2 years ago, and we said, oh, we know it's here. And they said, oh yeah, but we're not sure where it is. And we drove around the circles, excuse the pun. We drove around the circles looking for it, and eventually we found it. And the energy there is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, but we're very lucky in Éire. We have upwards of 10,000 different sites around the country. And some of them are less known and are very powerful. Carrowkeel up near Boyle, between Boyle and Sligo, is incredibly powerful. You know, it's one of those places where there's 31 chambers and there's a cave which goes down into the middle earth. Now, it's been blocked at one point, but they actually, interesting enough, call it Gollum's Cave. And that's the original name that goes back hundreds of years. And Gollum was used in Lord of the Rings, and that's where he got the name from.
Yes,
that's
he lived in Éire for a while.
Yeah.
So now we are on the topic by inner earth now. It's also this energy, that you feel.
Yes, we have it here in Gollum's Cave in near Sligo, and then we have Owen Nagat, which is also near Sligo. And Owen Nagat is basically, you know, if you imagine the size of the front of your washing machine, that's the gap into the inner earth. And it goes back to the old legends of the Fianna, which is the old Irish warriors. And it's built, was the entrance is into the field of what they call the Field of Wolves. And the legend says that the Fianna were there during one of the battles with the Fomorians, and they were camped out, the two of the Daman, they were camped out, and at night time the women came up from the underworld and stole away the best warriors and brought them down to the underworld, and they disappeared, never to be seen again. And if you go into it, it's quite mucky. It's hidden. You know, you have to know where it is.
Yeah.
And there's a lintel stone, and the back of the lintel stone is carved with Owen writing, with the ancient Irish writing.
Yeah. And
you can go down into the cave. Now, unfortunately, back in the 1960s, when they were doing electrification of rural Ireland, the ESB, the Electricity Supply Board, came along and put these poles up for the electric wires to be held on. And they came on a Friday and put the poles in the ground and then went away, came back the following week to put up the wires, and the poles had disappeared.
Mhm.
and they thought somebody was stealing them.
Mhm.
But what they were doing was they were going down through the earth, down into the underworld.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to sort of find a place where the poles would stand without disappearing, they used dynamite and exploded the caves underneath. So you can only go down about 150, 200 meters, whereas before you would be able to go for a couple of kilometers, you know. They say it was done by accident, but, you know, we have to wonder, you know.
As you're speaking, I feel the presence of giants also. So in a vision, when I went down the inner earth, I saw a lot of giants went down to the inner earth and living there now. But this energy is still there. Even when you speak now, I feel it.
Yeah. Oh no, we're very lucky to live where we do, and I suppose our souls have chosen to come back here
to this island
at this time because, as Julie says, it's the merging of the masculine and the feminine. The masculine energies are being dissipated.
Yeah. And I really feel the west coast of Ireland, I feel the masculine energy, and the east coast, I feel the feminine energy. How do you feel that? Do you feel it similar?
Well, I would feel that the west coast is closer to Atlantis and parts of Atlantis. Now, they say Atlantis originally was a feminine energy, and then it was overtaken by the masculine energy, and it was the masculine energy that destroyed it.
Yeah, the west coast, I feel the strong power.
But we're getting back to the feminine energy, which is very important.
Yes. Would you like to say maybe 1-2 sentences now for about Éiru again? Something really important, what we need to know?
Well, yes, as we said earlier, Nicoleén, Éiru was the goddess of love, the goddess of sovereignty, and this is where the name Éire, which is the original name of our island. So that's why when we speak of our land, we don't call it Anger or Éire, I-R-E, Anger land. It's back to Éire. So green is her color, and it's the color of love, it's the color of healing, it's the heart chakra. And as Michael said too, even our island, it looks like an embryo. So we feel now there's this new growth, new potential, there's this new vision coming to our beloved land. But it's the rise of the feminine, and it's back to Brigid, or Brigid, the goddess Brigid, with her beautiful fiery energy. So it's just to inspire love and to heal the division on our land, because we've had such a troubled history. So it's time now for this new energy. Michael and I would have this awareness of all these light workers have all decided to return to Éire for a reason. And it's to bring back that tremendous energy that the Irish and the native Indians, the two races closest to source, apparently, that's why we're here, is to just rise up. And then there will be a beautiful new country and a new energy globally, because we all interact, we're all interconnected, we're all one. Michael and I would often recite the Ho'oponopono prayer, because for us it's about unity consciousness. We're all one, we're all aspects, we're all fractals of the divine, and that's why we're here to co-create a new reality, to bring heaven on earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just change the collective, the higher frequencies, not only on Earth, it's all the planets around us.
Yes. There's a ripple effect.
Yeah, and the star beings are coming more and more, like to us in our consciousness. It's more to see, to feel, and to communicate also with them.
Exactly, and you know the people from Éire for hundreds of years have been sort of occupying different parts of the world. We probably have the largest diaspora of any nation. Within the diaspora in the different countries, and we see it through our connections with different parts of the world. The people from Éire are with the Éire blood in them, or the bloodline in them, are starting to light up as light workers, and we're creating a grid of light around the world, which shines out into the universe and affects the universe. You know, it really does. And we're being supported by our light beings and our star family as well, which is quite important. You know, we're being linked together for this.
And videos like this to speak about it, to bring the awareness out in the world, that makes it,
Absolutely, yeah.
Brings back memories, huh?
Yes, I think so. Yes, yes. The remembering and the reconnection again. Yes. And we're delighted that you invited us to speak with you today. And I know you have a really big audience too who might be interested in perhaps coming to visit Éire one day, and certainly to book in with your fantastic sessions.
Exactly. That's my vision and mission as well, to show the real Éire, you know? Yeah, that's really important for us, for our growth as well. I would like as an end, thank you so much for our conversation. It was beautiful that you share your wisdom with us. And I would like as an end that Éire would speak to us, that I would channel her. Is that okay with you? Yeah.
That's perfect. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I just connect now, and just to close my eyes, to concentrate, to focus. Slowly, there is a rising of my energy. I send you a picture like a snake. It's in wave, it's coming and going, and slowly my energy will arise and will fulfill the whole planet. My energy is deep, connected with the inner earth. Under this island, there is a big crystal. This crystal is holding energy of old wisdom of this earth, of your timeline, of Atlantis, and way back to Lemuria. And this crystal starts to light up again and brings a higher consciousness on this planet. This crystal is part. It's not only this one crystal. There's 7 crystals on that planet who are lighting up now, and they are connecting under the earth a crystal grid. The earth itself, Gaia, is arising, and it shows her beautiful light is coming through. You feel the change in your heart. This is heart opening. This awakening is to embrace your own soul and to live out of your heart. You feel the divine energy, you feel the love of the source itself, and it gives you the chance to connect deeper, on a deeper level, with the divine source. And so I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to your inner light, and I connect with you and with everyone who comes to this island, to my land. I connect with your inner light. And so feel this, feel it in your heart. I connect, we are connected. Our fire is together, connection of love. And you feel it in your energy field. You feel my presence and my love that I want to give to you. And all the abundance of the source will come to you in your life. Just receive and open your hands for the divine light, which is always with you. Ekanate mai tikunate, ekanate mai. Elanate matun anata, ekanate mai. Echate ichit anai, ikunarte ima onat eki. Aidechana mai tunate e. You are blessed, and this planet is blessed with so much love and abundance, and soon you will see. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicoleén. That was lovely.
Thank you, Shen. That was amazing. Yes, that was very emotional too for us. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Julie. Thank you that you shared your wisdom with us.
Thank you.
Ich hoffe, euch hat dieses Video gefallen. Ich freue mich über eure Rückmeldungen und ja, was ihr dabei gespürt habt und wahrgenommen habt. Thank you for watching it, and see you soon. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.